Hi, this is Linda with the Life Station Express, the relay station. We bring the news to you. And yes, per a couple of videos ago, I'm still reaching over to push the button on my phone because I finally realized that even with a new battery, I think the clicker for my stand that the my phone sits on, I think the clicker went bad. So, of course, I can't get a new one for nothing. I have to order a new one. So I did put an order in for it on Amazon. So it should be here maybe next week, $30 later. Anyway, I think it's worth it. Not like I can spend $30 on a little clicker, but I'm going to. Anyway, I wanted to share today something that I talked about earlier, and it's the hack that you can do to make sure your pastured eggs can peel easily. And I wanted to make some more eggs because I'm going to do some deviled eggs. And I wanted to go ahead and show you how I do that. So I'm going to pause and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to bring my eggs with me. All righty. Okay, I'm back and I just wanted to show you how I've been doing this, and I've done it twice so far. So hopefully I can do it again and it'll work as well as it did before. But what you do is take your eggs, and I have my pasture raised eggs that I got from Sam's Club, and you take your egg and you find the rounder, blunter end of the egg, and then you just tap it with a spoon until you hear the membrane break away from the shell of the egg. Isn't that cool? I don't know why our grandmothers did not tell us this, and maybe they did. Maybe they just didn't share these things. They shared everything else. So let me see if I can do this close enough so you can hear it. Did you hear that? Now, the egg did not break. That was just the membrane breaking loose. And I put my eggs in a steamer, in a pot to, well, I kind of boil slash steam them. So let me try the next one. There it goes. I think that's just the awesome thing to be able to do that. And when you've got pastured eggs, you know how hard it is to get the shells off when they're finished boiling. There it goes. So that's 3. I've got 7 eggs here. So I'm not going to make you watch me do all of them, but here's one more. Ooh, that one did it quick. Maybe we'll do another one. I just think it's kind of awesome. Here we go. I hope you can hear that. That is amazing. This is such a great trick. I mean, everybody uses the word hack. I think trick is a nice word too. There it goes. My last one, I'm going to do 7 today. That would make 14 halves, of course, of deviled eggs. There we go. All right, and I put them in a pot of water in a steamer. And I'm just going to put them on the stove. And I don't have a lid for this pot, but I do have a pan that Richard had for a camping set that was plates and mugs and a coffee pot and whatnot. So I'm going to use that. It fits right in the middle on top of my pan. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Turn my stove on. Whoosh. There we go. And get that to a boil. And I will show you when I come back how they worked. And we're going to pause again. So while the eggs were cooking, and there they are over there on the stove, I wanted to show you, I just ordered these. Are these not the nicest looking lids for mason jars that you've ever seen? I saw a girl on Facebook put her homemade cottage cheese ice cream in a bunch of pint jars and put them in the refrigerator. And she had these lids on them. And I'm like, I want those lids. I have the white ones. I have a pack of the green ones. But I found these, and I think she said they were on Amazon. So I did find them. Aren't they just the most brilliant colors? So there's my candle that I lit today. It's a little, it's a Friday. It's kind of cloudy. It's kind of sunny. The clouds and the sun go in and out. Anyway, I just thought that was really cool to show you that what you can buy nowadays, these beautiful, colorful storage lids for your mason jars. And they came with, the pack came with all these colors, and some are wide mouth, half are wide mouth, and half are regular. Since I talked about the weather, I thought I'd just step outside for a second. And it's, there's clouds covering the sun, but not like a rainy, cloudy day. It's just white clouds covering the sun. And here are Richard's tomato plants that he's working on. He got them in the ground. Well, not in the ground. He got them in pots. And hopefully we will have a few tomatoes this year. And good old golf cart. I just love that golf cart. Under the easy up, just to keep it from, you know, getting rained on too much. It did get rained on this year, but it really doesn't hurt it. But I don't like it to get too much rain on it. Anyway, there's a picnic table, a little trellis that I have. There's actually a little clematis plant under that. I don't know if it's going to come back this year or not. I hope it does. Just walking around the side of the camper, listening to the birds. Not too many people here today. This is the side of the one shed that we have, and that's our neighbor's shed, the yellow one. And, oh, there's somebody working in our shed. Who is that?
Nobody.
And one of the things we still need to do is kind of clean up our deck, dust off the furniture that really has collected so much pollen. There's so much pollen this year. Well, I guess there's pollen every year, right? But there's a lot this year. And I'm back inside. Just came in to see if my pot's boiling yet. And it's not quite. It's getting ready to boil with the eggs in there. And I will let them go maybe between 8 and 10 minutes. And then I'll take them out. I like to have the eggs just done so that the yolk can be as uncooked as possible, but yet cooked. And that keeps the egg yolk, you know, the nutrients in it better for you. You know, if you can eat a raw egg yolk when you're cooking your eggs or frying your eggs, that's great. You want to get the white cooked all the way. And if you can, leave the yolk a little bit runny if you're doing fried eggs or bacon and eggs or whatnot. But when you're doing hard-boiled eggs, of course you want them done all the way, but I like them just done. So I'll take them off between 9 and 10 minutes. So they're not quite boiling yet. Not quite. I keep checking them. So I'm going to watch the clock so I can get them. And I just wanted to share one little thing. I had a friend come over today, and she had some questions about eating keto, the keto lifestyle. And I just gave a quick little overview of, you know, what it means to be on the ketogenic diet, what that looks like. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of eating. And, you know, she had a few questions, and we talked for a while. She and I can talk for hours, I think, whenever we're together. But anyway, it was very interesting. And the way that I like to explain it, and she understood, is because you have to get it in here that you're going to change the way you eat. You are going to change, maybe I'll come over and sit down. You're going to change the way, well, if I sit down, you won't see me. You're going to change the way you're eating. And thinking about it is you have to change the way you think. And it kind of correlated to when I came to the Lord. There were things that I had in my head about God. There were things that I had in my head about Jesus, the Trinity, the stories that I knew from the Bible. And I had been in church my whole life. But once I came to the Lord, and that's kind of a Christianese way of saying I accepted the work of the cross that Jesus did, and came to him and said, you know, I am a sinner. I want to be with you for eternity, but there are things in my life that will keep me from that. And I repented. And that's what we do when we make a relationship with the Lord. So That's been, lots of years ago. I did that, but it kind of correlated it with the with doing keto. Sorry, I'm trying to move this so I can be seen. Anyway, in the light. The light. That's a little symbolic, isn't it? Yeah, the light of the Lord, the light of revelation, the light of getting it, and when you switch into changing your life for living for Christ and changing your life in the way you're eating, it all has to do with here and some here, but I think mostly it has to do with here. You change your mind about things, and you have these mindsets that have come to you throughout your whole life, so throughout my whole life, I learned about eating, or I just ate food that, I thought was good for me. And I've come to find out that things have changed. There have been discoveries, both good and bad, about foods that we were eating that really weren't good for us, foods we weren't eating in the proper amounts that would be beneficial to us. So I was just trying to explain to her that, while we are changing the way we eat, we have to know that it's got to change here. So when you normally would sit down to eat, and the way I learned how to sit down and eat or cook a meal, as the person who cooks for the family, we were taught a meat, a vegetable, and a starch. Well, that's not correct anymore. It's a meat and a vegetable if you want it. You want to get your protein in first, and you don't need a starch. You don't need fiber. And if you want to talk to me about that or ask me questions about that, those are just two things I've learned. So we were kind of just going over some of those kind of things. And it's interesting because I had the same questions she had. And it's taken me 2.5 years of thinking about it and looking into what does it mean to change the way you eat. So now when I sit down and I plan a meal, I'm going to start with the meat. That's going to be the main course. And then we eat our meat. And if we have room in our stomach to have more food, we'll have a little vegetable. A lot of times it's green beans, cauliflower, broccoli, a non-starch vegetable. And that's how we eat now, even for like if you want to have a snack, which we don't snack that very often, because when I'm finished eating my dinner in the evening, I'm usually finished unless I want to get a cup of tea or something. I feel like I need a little something else. I'll get a piece of cheese or something, but I try to stop eating at minimum 3 hours before I lay down to go to sleep. That way you have no problem with any digestion going on going like this in your stomach before you lay down, because a lot of people have acid reflux and they lay down and the undigested foods trying to, because of gravity, it will come up into your esophagus or whatever. And so many people have trouble. And then other people have trouble with snoring. Other people have trouble going to sleep or staying asleep. And if you get the proper electrolytes like magnesium during the day, or take a little magnesium before bed, you will go to sleep and you'll stay asleep. Just so many tips and tricks that I've learned. And I'm going to check my eggs real quick because, yep, they're boiling. Okay, we'll give them just a few minutes. And I'll be back when I take my eggs off the stove. So those are just a couple of things I wanted to share. And I will be back and see you in a few minutes. All right. So I think the eggs are just about done. And I'll be taking them out of here. See the steam? It's been just about 9 minutes, I think, since I turned them on. So I'm going to go ahead and turn them off, turn the flame off. And then I'll put them in an ice cube bath. I have a bowl in the sink that has ice in it. And darn it, here's that chayote squash. I haven't done anything with it yet. Have you ever seen such a thing? Chayote, I think is how you say it, squash. You can use this instead of an apple to make apple pie or anything like that. I just haven't done it yet. I found this at the local grocery store. I think I talked about that in a post that I made. I also had a jicama fruit that we made, and I made like mashed potatoes out of that, which was mashed jicama, and we really like that. So I might do that again if I can find another one, and I probably can find another one at the grocery store. So anyway, I'm going to turn this, well, it's off. I'm going to take it. I don't have a regular lid, so I'm going to just use a towel. take that off, and then I'm going to put my eggs that are finished cooking in this. I can't do this with the camera, so I'll come back and show you when they're in there, okay? So here are the eggs in the ice bath, and I'll leave them in there for a little while, maybe 5 or 10 minutes at the most, let them cool off, and then I'll peel them. Okay, so they're cooled off, the eggs are cooled off, and I'm going to go ahead and see how they did. I did one so far, so I'm hoping the rest of them are like that. Came right off. I mean, it came right off the shell. I mean, the shell, yeah, the shell came, you know what I mean. Okay, let me dry it off a little bit. Here we go. Dry off my egg a little bit. They're harder to do when they're wet, you know. All right, let's see how it does. So you can see that. There we go. Remember, this is a pastured egg. This is usually the hardest. Look at that. This is usually the hardest kind of egg to get the shell off of. Look at that. That just came off. Let's see if another one is as easy as that one. Let's see if the next one is. That's 2 of them. I had 7. So let's see. Let me put this in the trash. Some people use their shells for things. I don't have something to do with the shells right now, but I kind of almost hate throwing them out. Let's see. This one feels a little different. Let's see. Oh, I think it's going to be fine. Look at that. It's coming right off. I mean, it's coming right off. I love it. There we go. Oops, that's number 3. All right, I'm going to finish doing these, and then that will probably close out this video. Just wanted to show you that, yes, this does really work. When you tap the egg on the blunt end or the wider end with your spoon until you hear it crack, and it sounds like it's going to break. I mean, really it does. And then you go ahead and steam or boil them. I guess I kind of steam boil mine, don't I? And look at that. That is such a wonderful trick. I don't know why I haven't heard of this, but it is going viral. I've seen many videos, and I'll just add this one, you know, to everybody else's. So I would ask you, there we go. I would ask you to please like and share this video if it was helpful to you. If you want to hear any more about my 3 subjects I talk about, which would be my faith journey, my health journey, there we go, and here at the campground. We've had some activities this year at the campground, which has been really nice. Whoops, sorry, I've got my tripod sitting there. Yeah, we've had a potluck dinner so far. I think there's been an art class. I didn't get to do that. We've planted a butterfly garden, and we had a teaching that my friend that was here today did on pollinators, butterflies. I have my paper from her class. Butterflies, bats, bees, and beetles, and they are pollinators, and we want to make sure we continue making the environment just wonderful for everybody. So we do have a new pollinator garden up at the back entrance of the campground. So there are just some really cool things going on, and I think it's just really neat that I get to participate in some of these things. So that is the egg hack, and I think that's about all I need to talk about today, because I don't want this to get too long. I know it's been the video is going to be a little segmenty, but I'll put them all together so that you can make sense of all of it. But anyway, I hope this helps. I just can't believe how nicely, I mean, perfect. I just love that. It makes me happy. So we'll have some good deviled eggs. This is great for making egg salad or whatever. So this is Linda with the Life Station Express, the relay station. We bring the news to you, and that's the news for today. And I hope you have an awesome afternoon. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.